Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in. So, I've chosen to talk on a topic which I think काफी आजकल ज़्यादा होने लग गया है. तो somebody had come to me for help, so I myself didn't understand what the state was. So फिर मैंने कहा चलो थोड़ा सा इसके ऊपर रिसर्च करें तो it might be helpful for all. So I'll just start my screen sharing. Yeah, Shabana ji, you have to enable screen sharing. Good morning, Vinay.
Yes, Meenu ji, you can share.
Good morning, Hussain ji.
Good morning, Ji.
Good morning.
My screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this was the topic. I think there's been a MM over there, but it's actually we're just reversing autism to Mstiua, Mstiua, you can say, whatever, however you would like to pronounce it. So I'll talk about this concept a little later on, but it is basically we all understand it's a spectrum disorder, autism spectrum disorder. That's what they call it, ASD, short form for that is that. And this means this means that the autistic people, they have a wide range of symptoms. So it is not that you can say एक सेट को ये है तो उसको भी ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, किसी को ऐसा है तो उसको ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Some could have some symptoms, some could have just one symptom, कुछ भी हो सकता है. And all of them have a different kind of, you could say, skills also they have. They have their own strengths as well. And everyone needs a different kind of support. So that is according to what the doctor diagnoses. So diagnosis is a must, and going according with the doctor is also a must. Whatever they suggest, that is there. Whatever therapies they suggest, that should be done. So this is just to, what I've first given is how to awareness about it, what it is all about. So this is a disorder which is related to brain development. And that, of course, impacts the person. And it impacts everything. It impacts how he perceives and socializes with others, how he looks at them, how he connects with them. And so naturally, it can cause a lot of social interaction and communication problems. Then it also includes repetitive behavior. There are limited and repetitive patterns of behavior, and they're not able to learn beyond that. And this can be diagnosed in early childhood. And तो हर चीज ना सबसे पहले वही समझ आती है स्कूल में जब डालते हैं बच्चों को, तब समझ आती है. तो वैसे तो फर्स्ट ईयर से ही दे स्टार्ट शोइंग साइंस, because their reactions are slower than other children. They learn things late. So, or sometimes they may just develop normally in the first year, and then in the second year, symptoms might come up. So mostly बचपन से ही शुरू हो जाता है. So the parents have to be aware. So sometimes like they can't catch it because maybe working parents होते हैं तो नहीं समझ आता, or they just feel it's behavior problem. But we need to check it now. So there is more awareness about it. So आजकल इसलिए जल्दी पकड़ ले तो अच्छा रहता है. So as in by age 2 years कुछ ना कुछ symptoms आ जाते हैं, because they will display a unique pattern of behavior, you could say, different from others. तो इसलिए समझ आ जाती है. And they have difficulty in learning. And that too is, again, some may learn very quickly and some may have difficulty in learning. So there can't be any particular criteria कि ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, वो नहीं चलता. But there are many signs that we can look out for कि what it is. So first is this, that they don't appear to hear you. They don't respond to their name when it is called. And then they also prefer being alone. They resist closeness. So they don't want to be like held or cuddled, जैसे बच्चे होते हैं ना, they run away. So they're in their own, they retreat in their own world. And they don't even have proper eye contact. And facial expression भी बहुत कम होती है उनकी. So that can be also a sign. That they have problems of delayed speech. they're not able to speak well quickly, जैसे normally बच्चों का होता है ना, progress नहीं होता. They can't converse, they can't respond, और कई बार सिर्फ वन वर्ड्स ही बोलना शुरू करते हैं, कुछ बस very small vocabulary they have. And then when they speak in a very abnormal tone or rhythm. कुछ सिंग सॉन्ग वॉइस हो सकते हैं, कोई रॉबर्ट लाइक स्पीच हो सकती है, तो कुछ मतलब नॉर्मल नहीं फील होएगा उनके साथ. देन दे ऑल्सो टेंड टू रिपीट वर्ड्स. आप कुछ बोलोगे तो वो रिपीट करते रहेंगे, बट दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू यूज देम, हाउ टू अप्लाई दोज वर्ड्स. एंड सिंपल क्वेश्चंस और डायरेक्शंस भी नहीं समझ आते उनको, बिकॉज दे आर जस्ट नॉट प्रेजेंट, देयर वोकैबुलरी डजंट डेवलप इजीली, तो थोड़े से डिस्कनेक्टेड ही रहते हैं. Then of course they can't express their feelings, their emotions, and दूसरों की emotions तो बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आती उनको, खुद की नहीं आती तो दूसरों की भी नहीं आती. Then they don't show interest in anything. मतलब किसी objects के साथ, like children are very curious at that age. They'll keep exploring, touching things, और कुछ तो खोल भी देते हैं, सारा टॉय दो तो पूरा उसका ऑपरेशन ही कर देंगे कि what is inside. But they don't show any such interest. They're not interested at all in that. And then they can be a little they don't know how to interact, so they can either be have a passive interaction, passive reaction, or aggressive भी हो सकते हैं. So there's social interaction जो ना थोड़ा सा inappropriate भी हो सकता है, because they're not able to understand instructions, समझ नहीं आती उनको. And then they're not able to understand any non instructions, तो नहीं समझ आती, नॉन वर्बल क्यूज भी नहीं समझ आती. लाइक इफ यू इंडिकेट टू देम कुछ करो बॉडी पोस्चर से किसी से, बट उनको नहीं समझ आता कि व्हाट द अदर पर्सन इज सेइंग. So they have a very limited, you could say, awareness of what is around happening around them. And then there can be some more also that repetitive patterns of behavior जैसे होते हैं, तो उसमें जो है ना, they have repetitive movements. They perform just as like they'll keep rocking or spinning, तो हिलते रहते हैं, ऐसे hand movements जो होते हैं repetitive हो सकते हैं. Then they could also cause harmful self-harming activities which are harmful for them, जैसे biting or head banging भी कर सकते हैं वो. They're just not aware of, don't have control over their uh, actions or on themselves. Then they can become disturbed very easily. The slightest change, so they cannot adjust easily to change. So, एक रूटीन उनका सेट हो जाता है, उसमें अगर कोई डिस्ट्रप्शन हो जाती है तो दे रिएक्ट इन अ वेरी एग्रेसिव मैनर, वायलेंट, और दे माइट जस्ट स्विच ऑफ, कुछ भी हो सकता है. देन दे हैव प्रॉब्लम्स इन कोऑर्डिनेशन ऑल्सो. मूवमेंट्स जो है कि नॉर्मल नहीं लगते हैं. दे मे बी वेरी क्लमजी, or they might have a very odd way of walking, or exaggerated body motions, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं वो. Then, as I said earlier, that they're not interested in things around them, but they can also be there are two spectrum, is a wide range, so they can be interested, fascinated by details also. So वो जो खोल के भी नहीं देखेगा टॉय को, ही माइट उसका पूरा ऑपरेशन कर जाए, बट उसको फिर भी समझ नहीं आएगा कि what is the use of it or how it is being done. Then they can also be unusually sensitive to light, even to sound and to touch. So उनको नहीं समझ आती, कोई अगर उनको टच कर दे एकदम से तो they might react violently or aggressively. तो उनको एकदम से कुछ sudden action, they cannot tolerate that. And but they can also be indifferent to pain or temperature. So कुछ, and so there are like no set criteria कि ये है वो है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Anything out of the way, that can be a autistic sign. Then they don't have imagination. They don't understand make believe at all कि आप play कर रहे हो. Whatever you're telling them, they take it as reality. Whatever they are doing is reality. Imagination बिल्कुल नहीं, they can't go into that world. So they don't initiate in make-believe play, and they can get fixated intensely on something, anything, any object or activity, और उसमें बहुत focus होके intensely कर रहे होते हैं. फिक्सेट हो जाते हैं बिल्कुल. Then of course they have specific food preferences. They will eat only a few particular food kind of foods and might refuse some kinds. So again, we have to understand what it is they like and then deal accordingly. So as they mature, as the children grow up, they might be able to release all these जो signs आते हैं, because it might be for some it might be of a low intensity, all these signs. Some might have it as a severe problem. So again, it depends on from individual to individual. We cannot compare two children at all. वैसे भी we can't compare people at all. In case में तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर सकते. But as I said, consultation should be taken immediately as soon as you realize that there is something different from other children in your child when they are not able to express themselves or even smile or do the normal baby activities. अगर नहीं कर रहे हैं साल 1.5 साल तक तो उनको चेकअप कराना जरूर चाहिए. Now, let's just look at a few causes. What can be the reason why children are autistic? First of all, there is no single known cause. कुछ नहीं समझ आता है. It is a very, because it's still being researched. अभी भी समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या है. And as the symptoms vary so much, there's such a wide spectrum. So there are no as such पक्का कि यही वजह से हो रहा है ये. But there are few which can play an important role. So one is genetics, of course. So if the parents or the family has a history of it, then definitely it can come down the generation. Because some genes may affect the brain development, and then that may determine the severity of the symptoms that come up over here. Then, of course, environmental factors are there. So it could be anything. Again, it's being researched, could be from infections to medications, especially during the pregnancy period, or even the air pollutants, and they might play a role in that, triggering this disorder. Nowadays, it is rising, and it is maybe because of better ability to understand it is a real problem. Because now, one research has shown that 1 out of 68 children have this disorder, and boys have it more than girls. So the ratio is 4:1. So उनके cases में ज़्यादा हो जाता है. Then, as I said, genetics is also family history is also responsible. Just genetics में वो आ गया था. So if a parent has an autistic child, there is more probability of the second child also being autistic. Then other disorders की वजह से भी जो है ना कोई medical conditions if the children have, that can also open them to the risk of autism, like symptoms also. So it could be anything, whatever if they have been through while in that babyhood stage, if they have been through a problem, anything severe, some serious issue अगर उनको हो गया during childbirth or later on, there are more chances of being autistic later on then. Then extremely preterm babies, they also open to the risk. Then the parents' ages also makes a lot of difference. So if they are born to older parents, there might be a possibility. I'm not saying that there is a link. No research has shown that, but there could be a possibility. So anything can be possible. Viral infections during pregnancy, or if the mother has any autoimmunity problems, any complications, that can happen. Then what complications can come out of it? Like what can be the result for the children, babies who have developed this? First is, of course, they have problems in school. They're not good at learning. So they can be very slow learners. They can't understand things. And on the other end of the spectrum, they might be high achievers also. मतलब बहुत कुछ फटाफट से भी learn कर रहे हैं. So they have problems in living independently. They are all dependent on other people. They cannot be independent on their own. So they can have employment problems also, because since they cannot be independent, तो उनको हर चीज में प्रॉब्लम आती ही आती है. social isolation also. They cannot connect easily with other people around them. So of course, it gives a lot of stress, gives rise to a lot of stress within the family. And sometimes, these people, they also feel victimized, and they feel that they're being bullied by people around them, because some people don't understand what is the condition. So uski wajah se, there is a lack of knowledge, you could say. So uski wajah se things don't move smoothly. Now, this was what the scientific angle of it. So since we are connected to the spiritual world, I'll come to that now. So healing becomes possible when we address both the spiritual and physical aspects of this condition. So there is, like, as I said, there is no particular way of treatment for it. Itna kuch wo nahi samajh aaya. There are many therapies that those such children have to go through. Sometimes it's in adults also. So they have to go through those therapies. But what is certain is that having an autistic child, it requires that there are changes in the family at the individual level, and with the family, amongst the family members also. Because, this child is coming for a special purpose. So each individual has to reveal more of their own soul. They have to live from the soul level. So it's not just the person who is affected, all the people, all the whole family, and everyone is affected. The parents are affected, grandparents are affected, any siblings, they are affected, extended family, हर एक को फर्क पड़ता है. So either they connect or they disconnect, whatever happens. But it requires, literally, it demands that everyone starts living from their own soul quality. Because such children, they have been sent to show us a new way of living. Because it's not like normal living. There is something beyond this normal living life. These are very sensitive and spiritual beings, these children. And they have lived many lifetimes. So they know that there is another way to live. So they cannot fit into their current circumstances, because they're from inside, they're rebelling against it. I know a better way of life. ये क्या कैसे रहना है? So they have lived in different lifetimes and on different dimensions, you could say. So that when you are living that way, so there is a greater ease and freedom of living over there. So यहाँ पे restrictions वगैरह में they cannot survive. So we have to first of all stop normalizing them. कि हमारे criteria के हिसाब से normalize करो. Then only when you leave them to live their life, then there is a healing. When you try to restrict them, try to make them conform, so we have to try to adjust to what is best for the child. वो करने की जरूरत पड़ती है. Because these are magical people. They're literally magical people. They've come to show us, to teach us that all the suffering that we experience in life, that is coming from ignorance about why we are here in the first place. So it comes down to your soul lessons. हम उससे डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं. हम सोचते हैं नहीं, बस ये रैट रेस में ही भागना है, जॉब्स लेनी है, पैसा कमाना है, फैमिलीज बनानी है, गाड़ी, घर, एवरीथिंग इज अ मस्ट. We live in that zone, and we get disconnected from the actual, you could say, the aim, that जो भी आपका actual destination है, to go to be with the divine. We lose touch with that. हम इसी में फंसे रह जाते हैं. So if we want to understand such people, we have to understand why these magical people are here and what can we learn from them. So it's all about growth. So as human beings, we are here and we need to grow, spiritually especially. So we are living in a world of aggression, abuse. इसमें से बाहर निकलने की आने की जरूरत है. Of course, we have all chosen the lives we live for whatever karmic reasons we have. We've come in the circumstances, but the main reason is spiritual growth, because we release our karmas and we move towards the divine. And our souls have consciously chosen our lives, our parents, our siblings, our children, all the physical and mental conditions in which we live over here. We have chosen before coming over here. Now, these magical people, they have come to rouse us, to make us realize what is your actual purpose in life. So they can be a bridge between the two worlds, this world and the other world, because they are very unique and loving beings, and they're here to spread love. So when you come in contact with such children, it's a natural progression from you that you have that feeling of love. So they can form that, and divine is the love. So they are like a bridge between the two worlds, this world and the spiritual world. And they are, attached to a separate dimension. So they're like connected to a higher level, you could say. So yeah, यहाँ पे that is why sometimes they come across as geniuses. And at times they're totally disconnected from everything around them because then they're connected over there. So we see them as different, but we should actually call them special because they have come here on a very big task. They've come here to teach us compassion, love, understanding. So they are here to help the people on this earth to heal from the suffering they are experiencing in this life and all their past lives as well. So such individuals, such children, they are connected to their higher self. They're able to communicate with themselves, and they do it as naturally as we live in our world, where we are connected to our lower selves. So they are more connected to the spiritual realm instead of the world that they live in. So that is why they have a difficult time in communicating with us, with the people around them. So यहाँ पे देन सोचते हैं कि ये तो अपनी दुनिया में ही रहता है, इंटरनल वर्ल्ड में ही रहता है, इसको कुछ समझ नहीं आती, बट दे एक्चुअली एग्जिस्टिंग मोर ऑन द एक्सटर्नल और द एस्ट्रल प्लेन. उनकी एग्जिस्टेंस जो है ना बहुत वाइड है, हमारी एग्जिस्टेंस लिमिटेड है बिकॉज वी जस्ट स्टक ओवर हियर यहाँ पे, वो दे कैन सी बियॉन्ड इट. So they are existing more in the upper chakras, you could say. And many autistic individuals, they have excelled in lots of arts, music mein, arts mein, mathematics mein, they excel in that. And they're not much concerned with survival, with the activities connected to the lower chakras. They're disconnected with that. इतना वो यहाँ पे नहीं रह सकते. Again, it can be at either end of the spectrum. They might get too over involved in it or get disconnected from it. The one thing we have to understand here, having said that it is genetics and parents ka wo hai, parents may have no part in causing the condition in their children. That is also there. The individual has chosen to be born with this condition. And the parents have also been ready to accept, because they know that when I have to deal with such a baby, my own growth will happen, spiritual growth will happen. So the parents themselves have chosen a very difficult but a very important life experience, you could say. They are here to help these babies, these individuals to live a magical existence because they are magical people. So autistic individuals, जो है ना, such people, they can be very innocent, they're very trusting. जो भी आप कहोगे, they will accept it. So they actually misplaced in this world. So जहाँ तो यहाँ हर एक कोई अपने में ही बिजी रहता है, अपने एजेंडाज में इन्वॉल्व रहता है, but they are able to connect in at that level. They are able to trust people easily. They were more connecting to them also. So they live on an alternate plane. So they're always speaking their truth. They don't know how to lie. जो imagination नहीं है, so they cannot create stories. And they are very simple people, very simple folks. They don't connive. कोई उनकी चालबाजियां नहीं होती है. And they cannot even think of harming anybody willfully. Very simple people. So they're living more at an intuitive level, you could say. They're much more advanced spiritually. They're very genuine, you could say. and they're experiencing everything in the present. They have no concern of the past or the future. Only this present moment matters कि यहाँ पे मेरे साथ अभी क्या हो रहा है. So they're very empathetic and telepathic also, and have a higher frequency of spiritual development because they're connected to the higher levels. So they've chosen to live at the soul level, and that is what they bring over here. And they've come here to teach us acceptance, non-judgment, and to show that magic is possible. So they have come to bring compassion at all levels in the caregivers and people who get connected to them. And especially when they're diagnosed at an adult stage, they need a lot of compassion, they need a lot of care. So, and then acceptance has to come in the affected person also. So he has to accept that, okay, I am a little in a different zone. I have to work accordingly on myself and grow, make myself grow in that way. So we just have to look at them as magical and pure people. And they are one of God's miraculous creations because they have taken on a huge task of changing people with whom they get connected. Now we look at some ways we can reduce the intensity of the issue. So one is this, there is this mantra, आप ये इसको chant कर सकते हैं, वल्लभम गर्जनम एकदंतम. But the most important thing is that the word autism, we need to reverse it and think of it as Mstiua. Autism lana hi, those parents who are affected by, whose children are affected by this, first of all, don't keep on repeating the word. Reverse it instead. This is a concept given by Naran S. Balakumar. He's a very good, famous teacher in the South. I follow him also online. I've learned a lot from him. And this is a concept he has put forward that whatever problem you have, don't keep on repeating them. अब देखो जो word cancer है, उसका नाम सुनते ही आप आधे मर जाते हैं. And then it keeps on hammering in your brain, keeps on going, cancer, cancer चलता रहता है. उसको change करो, उसको reverse करो, reconnect बोलो. Don't say cancer at all. Same with autism. Don't say autism. Mstiua करो. So उसके जो strength है ना वो कम हो जाएगी. You're actually breaking the strength of the word. So just reverse it. Any problem you have, diabetes है, उसको change करो. Set पे add कर दो, कुछ भी कर दो. Don't say the word, keep on repeating the word in your mind. You're giving strength to it. So वो problem जो है और strong होती जाएगी. So it's a very simple task, simple thing. Try to implement it, and it does make a difference. Now, there are some words, switch words also which you can use. And one is, most important one for Mstiua children is lift, kind, divine. You're just asking the divine to uplift the child. And before chanting it, the parents need to chant it because, of course, the baby will not be able to chant it. They should like deep breathe and make themselves positive, and then set the intention, what is the reason. Like, as I said, different children will have different symptoms. You can look at one symptom and try to, like, if you want the child to speak a few new words, 2 new words that day. So you chant with that intention in your mind. So whatever you want the child to do, chant with that intention. And chanting is minimum 28 times, of course, or you can chant it 51 times, 108 times. That's totally your effort, the child's, the parent's effort. And what you can do is you can hold the child in your hands, like when he is in your arms, you can chant this, lift, kind, divine. Or you can take whatever water you are giving the child, whatever liquid stuff you're giving, just hold it in your right hand, cover it with your left hand, and chant these words. And then give it to the child to drink. Chant it 51 times. मतलब थोड़ा ज़्यादा chant करना है. 108 times also he recommends. So that is one switch word which can help. And then parents of such children, they're not able to cope. It's a big task for them because it's suddenly come into their life. The child has come into their life, and now their life is totally upside down because with a child you expect Okay, he'll be normal, he'll be doing all these things, we'll enjoy that. But then suddenly you have a special child. So you feel very, it becomes very difficult to cope at times. Overworked, आप overstressed हो जाते हो, overwhelmed हो जाते हो with your emotions, your feelings, and then the amount of work that such a child demands, you're not able to cope. So when you are hassled all the time, you are communicating the same vibrations to the baby as well. So the baby gets even more hassled. So parents, the caregivers, जो भी है, the mother, the father, they need to calm down while dealing with the baby. They need to be able to cope with the situation. So one very good switch word for that is elm stretch. Keep that in your mind. Keep chanting it. Your tasks will become easier. You'll be able to cope with the situation in a better way. And then when you are relaxed, you're communicating those vibrations to the baby, and he too will calm down. So when you're unable to cope, when you feel, okay, now it's, I have to give up. I just can't go do anything more. Start chanting elm stretch, elm stretch, elm stretch in your mind. Even if you chant it a few times, minimum is of course 28 times. Even if you chant it 10 times, 15 times, it will help you. But keep it in your mind. Then you can write this number on the baby's left arm, 6927. It's a frequency, the code for Mstiua. वो ये भी लिख सकते हो. And there's another switch word I came across. Declare, charm, albricious. This means, albricious is, I think, a Spanish word. It means good news, congratulations. So you are just declaring that everything is good, everything is charming, everything is well. That also you can keep in your mind. Sometimes chant lift kind device, sometimes chant this. मतलब mind में chants चलती रहनी चाहिए instead of like what is happening. Our tendency is we keep on thinking about that. ये ऐसा कर रहा है, वैसा कर रहा है, समझ नहीं आ रही, ये नहीं है. वो चीजों को हटाना है माइंड से. So when you catch yourself thinking those kind of thoughts, negative thoughts, take a deep breath, release them, and start chanting the switch words. कुछ भी कर सकते, वल्लभम गजनम कर लो, lift kind divine कर लो, whatever you connect. And then of course, इसके साथ back flowers are amazing. Back flowers for flower essences for such babies, for such people, they can really work very well. So I picked up, but according to the condition of the child, what is required, you need to give it in that way. So I'm giving a few symptoms, and you can take it on your own also. If you want more consultation, you're welcome to contact a back flower therapist. I can also help you there. Anyone you are in link with, take their help. So there are few I've picked up which would be helpful. So आप अपने आप भी दे सकते हो, combination बना के you can give it to the baby. So one is walnut. This is referred to as a link breaker. So it helps the child to adapt to whatever changes are happening in its life. So if the child has difficulty in that, walnut should be given. Then there is rock water. This is if they're very rigid, if they're not able to understand. Rigidity बहुत है, and there is no self-restraint, or there is a lot of self-restraint. In both cases, rock water will help. So for who tend to be overly disciplined, perfectionist people, उनके लिए ये helpful रहता है. It will help them be more flexible, open-minded, go with the flow, not get stuck. उसमें rock water will help. Then there is beach. Beach is for tolerance and understanding. So for those who struggle with social interactions, they have difficulty tolerating differences in others, who get annoyed with small things. Very picky eaters, उनके लिए भी helpful रहता. तो उनके लिए beach अच्छा है. Then chestnut bud is a must for all such students, such children. It's the remedy for learning from experience. So all those who have learning difficulties, chestnut bud तो देते ही रहना चाहिए. It brings in, encourages them to be attentive, and gives them the ability to absorb new information. It helps that way. In learning, it helps a lot. Then we have water violet. This is for those who are like disconnected from everyone around them, who are very distant, reserved sort of people. They are aloof, and किसी से connection नहीं बन पाता उनसे. So it allows them to open up, to be able to communicate in a better way. And it makes the other people also positive towards them. When the person themselves take it, water violet, others become positive towards them. Because sometimes people reject such children, push them away. So water violet lenge to they'll create a loving atmosphere among everybody around them. Then we have rock rose. This is for extreme fear and panic. Those who have very intense anxiety or like very anxious all the time, fears हैं बहुत ज़्यादा. So it gives them courage, it gives them calmness, and they are able to manage their emotions in a better way. Then there is heather. Heather is it is for like extreme talkativeness, and they always like some, as I said, some may be reserved, some may be too interactive, too pushy, moving forward. And for people who are not listening to others, because sometimes such children, they will not listen also. उनको समझ ही नहीं आती क्या बात हो रही है. तो लिसनिंग एबिलिटीज को अच्छा करने, स्ट्रॉन्ग करने में हेदर हेल्प्स. देन वाइन इज फॉर दोज हु आर वेरी डोमिनियरिंग, ओवरबेयरिंग. वाइन उनको हेल्प करता है. फॉर वेरी हैव डिमांडिंग बिहेवियर्स, आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग विल्ड, इंसिस्ट करते रहते हैं, गुस्सा दिखाते रहते हैं. सो इट ब्रिंग्स देम ऑन अस इनटू ऑनटू अ स्पेस ऑफ बैलेंस. वो हो जाता है उनका. तो देयर डायनामिक्स विद पीपल अराउंड देम, इट इम्प्रूव्स. Then clematis is for those who are always daydreaming, absent-mindedness होती है. So they are totally disconnected from the present. अपनी thoughts में रह रहते हैं. तो clematis helps them to anchor in the present moment, bring them into the reality. Then white chestnut is for persistent unwanted thoughts, like overthinking. जो mental chatter चलता रहता है ना, उसके लिए है. So those who have repetitive or intrusive thoughts, so it helps to quiet the mind. तो even people who have OCD, उनके लिए भी ये बहुत हेल्पफुल रहता है. White chestnut and crab apple. I've forgotten to write over there. A crab apple is also a must, which must be given to all the individuals, because that cleanses your system. कुछ भी accumulation हुई हो ये toxins की, it cleanses it. Then those who show a lot of anger, holly helps them. It helps them to come out of that emotional outburst. बहुत होते हैं जिनका very sensitive to criticism. So it creates a harmonious emotional balance, जो ना वो अच्छा रखता है. Then there is one more, oak. This is for very hyperactive children who are constantly moving around. आराम से नहीं बैठ सकते. And then, of course, rescue remedy is the all-time favorite. So anything happens, so this should be a permanent thing in your feature in your house. Anything, any problems happens, just give it just 4 to 5 drops in a little bit of water, half a cup of water. Just give it. You can put it in your normal drinking water. उसी में से भी पानी पी सकते हो all the time. It makes you remain calm. It works amazingly. And if the person is not in the position of drinking it, for babies, we can apply it to their nails, to their pulse points, उनको apply कर दो. Or we can have those spray bottles, उसमें पानी में ये drops मिला के just spray it in the room. So that should be a constant feature, daily feature in your home. It helps to keep infections also away, and it keeps all the people calm, and that is needed in such families. And of course, forgiveness prayers. That is one thing you should do for yourself and for the child as well, because it might be coming from a past life. I recently did a session, past life session, on a mother whose child is Mstiua. So she felt that somebody had killed her. She had this 4, 5 year old son, होएगा 3, 4, छोटा सा बच्चा ही लग रहा था उसको. And she felt that somebody was hiding in the house and hit her with a something heavy object on the back of her head, and she died instantly. There was blood and she died instantly. And that small child, he could not tolerate it. He went into the shock and he also passed away. So he passed away with that shock of that moment, the fear, and in this lifetime he's come with these symptoms. So I'm not saying that it's always so. It is just one of, you could say, an incident that has come in front of me. It could be any reason. So this was one reason that we felt it could be responsible for his condition over here. So past life करने से भी समझ आ जाती है कई बार, where is it coming from? And then you're able to accept, when you see that, you're able to accept it in a better way. And it's an internal acceptance. एक तो होती है ना, हम consciously accept करते हैं. Past life देखते हो ना तो आप subconsciously acceptance आ जाती है. That makes a lot of difference. So that also is a modality you can try to understand where this is coming from. So and yes, bringing in the 4 pillars of life: acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, lovingness, वो सारी चीजें लाना बहुत जरूरी है. Because when you come into that mode of acceptance, yes, there is a problem, you actually find solutions for it. If you're rejecting it, solutions nahi aayenge. If you're not accepting, like many parents are unable to accept, okay, how can my child be such a way? They're not able to accept it. So acceptance लाना बहुत जरूरी है. And then read forgiveness for yourself, for the child, because the universe wants you to move spiritually. The forgiveness is one of the things that you need to do, most essential thing, in fact. And then have a lot of gratitude. I know it's very difficult to have gratitude when you're faced with such a situation, but then there are many things you will have. My child, like this lady, she says the child used to be very violent towards her, biting her, pulling her hair. So when she started reading forgiveness prayers, there was a shift in the child's behavior. She says he stopped biting, he stopped pulling my hair. So it does make a difference. So इसको ये भी करना बहुत जरूरी है. अपने से forgiveness, baby से forgiveness, जिसके लिए भी करना चाहते हो करो, because we are here to release our karmic bonds and forgiveness is the best way of doing that. Because we do not know हम क्या करके आए हैं, कोई manual नहीं मिलता हमें. तो जो हम कर सकते हैं वही करना चाहिए. Forgiveness is an easy way out. And of course, having a lot of love. जितना love अपने में भरोगे, दूसरों को दोगे, your life will get better. Okay, yeah, I had collected some energy circles also. This is for Mstiua. Just take a printout of it, laminate it. You can use it as a coaster. You can place it under the pillow of the child, or place it on the bedside. तो इसको as it is ही जो है ना print out लेने की जरूरत है. And you can even chant if you feel like रात को before sleeping, you can chant a few times the words given in between, the switch words: reverse of snowflake, trust genius, crystal wave, Fluidalis, and release sage, restore divine balance together now. So आप पढ़ भी सकते हो इसको before sleeping. And there is one more I had come across where it helps them to become independent, because such people, they are very dependent on those around them. So to bring in that independence, that feeling of that they're able to do everything on their own, be capable of that, you can have this printout of this. You can keep a print of this, and of course chant the words also. There are 3 sets over here. You can choose any, you can, or all, whatever you feel like. Yes, that was the end of my presentation. Any questions, anything you would like to comment or share?
We want to thank you, Meenuji, because I think it is one of the less discussed topics. And often we don't try to, know about it. I have seen, children, but then because you interact very, hardly you interact with them, it's very occasional that you see them and then you just try to you talk a little and then that's it. And then you don't think about them or you don't, so, but you have given a very good perspective. I really like that. They're the higher beings. And
Absolutely.
so thank you. Yeah.
Well, this topic is a very less discussed topic, specifically when you talk on the spiritual domain. And even when someone discusses this, so they just it's just in the paradigm on a special vibration people are living. So that's the only conversation that has been so far discussed by any of the spiritual masters or any of the spiritual people. But the way you have articulated, the way you have categorized, and you also have not only categorization, but also you also have given a perspective of uh, the karma. Also, you also given a perspective of um, what you say is how how they are connected to the real source, connected to the purpose of life, and then you have beautifully summed up in uh, in dealing with those people at a physical level and also at the medicinal level as well. So this is quite an amazing packet that you have provided in
Thank
last
you.
40 minutes.
Thank you.
Um, so this is a complete packet. I think when people listen to this talk on the YouTube again and again, it will definitely impact not only people who have their immediate siblings or sons or daughters who are dealing with this problem, but also uh, creating an awareness
Yeah,
across the
absolutely.
spectrum.
Yeah.
So, for the very first thought that came to my mind is I am not dealing with any of the autistic people, neither in my coaching and counseling, or nor in my daily life.
Mm-hmm.
But I just carried on listening to you, and then I realized after listening to you that you know I can actually put this as my um, not only awareness, but also I'm not finding the words, but I'm not only the awareness, but the kind of torch bearer to really talk about this topic, that this is something people should know,
Mm-hmm.
everyone should know about the whole thing. And if there is more awareness, if there is more collective consciousness who are accepting this whole part of autism, and not only autism, but also the other physical deformities
Yeah, absolutely. It
people
can
have.
apply to others aspects also.
Yes, and my I'm trying to just get back to the words again. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little wrong. So
हाँ, I think net चला गया. What happened, Vinay? You got muted. I think some issue with him now. So actually, the session that I did with that lady, it has helped a lot, and I wanted her to join today and say it herself, but she was traveling, so she couldn't. So she sent an audio recording of what she has experienced and how it has helped her. So she felt that it might help other people also. So I would request you, Shabana ji, to please play the recording.
Yeah, sure.
Physical pain from getting pinched, bitten, and hair getting pulled, uncertainty of the kid's future, and a tired body and mind. These have been my companion from the past 1.5 years, since the time when the boy was diagnosed with Mstiua symptoms. And the boy is very young, he's 2.5. When we diagnosed it, it was just he's just 1.5 years old. But the energy and the hyperactivity and the sleepless nights, they were endless, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And no coping mechanism has been working, and prayer was the only place I could find solace. But prayer alone was not helping rationally. because we're still in the physical world and I was not receiving any answers. So I kept seeking for help, and one day the prayers were answered, and they kept getting answered from then on. So where I've learned a few things and started implementing them, and I saw that there was progress both in my life and my son's life. I want to share with them in case it helps any tired parent. Uh, I've stopped asking the universe, why me? I stopped playing the victim. This acceptance has reduced the burden. Second, I was taught a trick to please the universe by saying thank you. Thank you for everything that I already have, and thanking the universe for everything that it's going to give uh, in future. So I just kept saying thank you, and I was told I'll attract a bounty, and I see what it means now. Then I know for some reason that maybe this is a baggage that I'm carrying from my past sins, or maybe some past life experience. So I did a past life experience therapy. I do not know what it is called. So when we did that, uh, I got help that I could cut off some karmic debts, and along with this, charity, donation, and praying for forgiveness has worked wonders. It is only giving me path to move forward. And then finally, love, right? It's the most easiest and toughest things to do. So acting with a pinch of love in every interaction is helping this life more. But other than that, on practical standpoints, there are a couple of things which help me furthermore. Switch word. I use Ellen Stretch a lot, and it is helping me to stay patient with the boy whenever it's overwhelming, and it helped me tone myself, and it's in turn helping the boy. And I was also taught a healing technique, white light healing technique, and I see that the boy has mellowed down a little, and all of this has caused a paradigm shift in my overall attitude towards current life. So I'm grateful, and there's only more learning to do. I hope this helps someone somewhere. Thank you so much. Sending in all the love.
Thank you, Shamanandi.
Thank you, Meenuji. It was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I forgot to say, that we can use that white light healing technique as well. So that helps to calm down yourself, the child. So वो भी कर सकते हैं try. And of
So,
course, any of the healing modalities will work. Whoever are connected to healing, they can use those. So that was. But वही है कि first of all, you need to accept and calm yourself down.
yeah. So, Meenuji, you can also elaborate on the white light healing.
Okay.
This is not only for autism, but for everything.
It applies, yeah. All these switch words can apply to any of these kind of problems.
Even I'm feeling better after, like, hypnosis and electrical stimulation and everything.
So anybody can use it. Like it's something like therapies are what the doctor prescribes. You can do according to what they say, according to your issue, the medicines they say. I'm not saying we need to stop them. Backflash can be taken along with medicines, but they, like, over a period of time they will show a difference. So इसलिए साथ में कर लो तो अच्छी बात है ना. It's your life. We have to uplift it. Nobody else will come here. So अपने को बेटर करने के लिए, अपनी लाइफ, अपनी फैमिली को बेटर करने के लिए, keep trying, keep adding. So I'm no expert in it, but what I felt, I just thought I would share with everyone. Yeah, Shabana ji, the white light healing technique is very simple. You have to visualize if it is for yourself, or you can do it for anybody else also. You just have to visualize them in front of you. So you just have to visualize that white light is coming, falling on your head, moving anti-clockwise inside and outside your head, left to right, and absorbing all negativity, all blockages of any kind. It's dissolving in that white light, and it's just not stuck in your head, it's in your whole body. So we have to move the white light through your body. So it's moving downwards around your face, shoulders, chest, right down to your feet. So from top to toe, you're covered by this whirling light, which is moving inside and outside your body, dissolving, absorbing all negativity, all blockages of any kind. And then it goes back into the universe, taking it all with it. With a jerk, it's gone back, taking it all. Thank the universe for accepting and dissolving. Then for physical issues, feel a shower of blue energy coming, falling on yourself or your child's head, filling up each and every cell of your body, right down to the soles of your feet. A very rejuvenating energy, healing energy of the universe. It's healing each and every cell of your body. Then thank the universe. You can add more sentences, whatever, it's filling up where it is needed more, the healing energy. And it's very powerful. Like I have been able to heal my eczema with this method. So पूरी body में blue energy भर गई है. Keep putting the intention that it's healing and rejuvenating every cell. And where it is needed more, it's filling up more and healing more. Then thank the universe for healing. Then third time, take attention to the universe. Feel a shower of pink energy coming, falling on your head and filling up again each and every cell of your body, right down to the soles of your feet. And this is the loving energy of the universe. Very loving, very calming, very peaceful. And it's filling up each and every cell of your body, making you feel really calm from deep inside. It's filling up your heart center, filling you with a love for your own self, for everyone around you. And then feel it expanding from your heart center, creating a shield around you, keeping you safe and protected. And also connecting you to everyone around you, you're sending love vibrations to everyone around. And thank the universe for blessing and helping you. Thank yourself for being able to receive the blessings. If you're doing it for somebody, thank them for receiving the energy. And then just, if somebody is there, just send them away, bless and dismiss them, and just thank the universe. Take a long deep breath and relax. So that's meditation you can do anytime, anywhere. Traveling में भी कर सकते हो. Watching TV you can do it anytime. But just थोड़ा सा focus कर लो तो और deeply हो जाएगा. So that was the white light healing part.
Awesome, awesome. You covered it so well and so quickly. It was almost like a meditation.
So it can be for anybody, like any problem. You just, हम दूसरों की तरफ भागते हैं कि उनसे healing ले ले, उनसे healing ले ले, उसको बोल दे. But it's your life, your karma. You have to do it. So when you take charge, there will be more shift. That Vinay loves that word, paradigm shift. So that's what they actually come in. So when you take charge of your life, there will be phenomenal shifts in your life. When you depend on others to do it, it will take a little more time. It will happen, but it's a third person. And you don't know others' intentions. So अपने आप करो, वो best रहता है. Take charge of your life. Be responsible for your life. You have created it. You can uncreate whatever is happening in your life. You can create what you want. So that's it. 9 o'clock हो गए पूरे. 8 पूरा घंटा मैंने सबका सर खा लिया.
Awesome. नहीं खाया नहीं, आपने बहुत सारा सबका सर भर दिया था कि ये भी करना है, ये भी करना. So now if any one of us will find someone dealing with this, so we have a lot of suggestions for
Yes.
that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry, I got into a call. I'm so sorry.
Okay, you got disconnected.
There was an official call and emergency call that and I had to take that call. I'm sorry that, but I really want to thank you for giving this perspective, and that's giving me a something a broader thing to think about human being, a more compassion for people.
Absolutely.
ये बात करके thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
आपसे ऑफलाइन बात करूंगा, मेरे पास कुछ आइडियाज आए.
जरूर
ऑफलाइन में बात
जरूर. Okay, thank you
Awesome.
everyone.
Thank you, Meenu ji. Thank you.
सॉरी से आपके बीच में बात टोक दी थी.
Sorry? Nothing like that. ठीक है.
I think it got dropped off. Thank you. Thank you so much, Meenu ji. Thank you, everyone, and see you again tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.